Hi, I'm an Australian guy living here in Belarus, and in case you hadn't noticed, divorce is very high in Slavic countries like Belarus, and indeed it's often even a fraction higher than it would be in many Western countries. I noticed this pattern in Australia, and I've seen it here as well, and I've spoken to quite a few locals about this, and they absolutely agree with what I'm saying. So I'm going to share this theory with you of mine, theory of why a lot of marriages, not all of them obviously, there's always different situations, but in terms of one broad theme, I'm going to share this one broad theme with you. So when a guy and a girl get together, right, especially if they're dating, right, they don't really know each other. So they often put on a bit of a facade. And I would suggest that girls tend to keep the facade on for longer than guys do. But both genders definitely put on this kind of I'm better than I really am kind of thing. There's a very famous saying, and it goes that a man will marry a woman hoping that she never changes. And a woman will marry a man hoping that she can change him. So let's explore what that means. So before marriage, chances are the girl's being quite nice, quite pleasant. He's enjoying her company and so forth. They're having lots of sex, because do remember that a big draw card for marriage is the idea that a man can have sex for the rest of his life unlimited. That's part of the deal. So the guy is hoping that she won't change, right? Hopefully what I'm marrying now, what I see in the window is going to be what I actually get, right? This trial period will come through and it will keep staying like this. Whereas the saying goes that women marry a man with the hope of trying to change him. So on the first point, men often find that a woman changes after marriage. She tries to be more in control and more controlling. This is a general theme that I've seen. Not the same with every marriage, but it's certainly a theme that is floating around the marriage verse. From the woman's perspective, she'll start to kind of nag the guy, do this, things she's not happy with. She'll try and change him. And she's very aware of any changes in his behavior. If she's successful in kind of manipulating him a little bit to change his behavior, she'll see this, and her instinct is to keep trying to change him more and more and more. Again, this is just what I generally see. Some might stop after a while, some might not even try, but for the most part, this is kind of what happens. Now, from a men's point of view in the West, we're kind of told, happy wife, happy life, right? Which kind of means just do what your wife says, which we're not told to be subservient explicitly, but that's what it means. Be subservient, do what she says, right? This sounds all very kind and sweet on the surface, but of course what happens is that she starts to lose respect for the guy. She knows that he's not really who he says he is. He has no backbone, he has no spine. She knows that she can just manipulate him. So the respect goes down, and if a woman doesn't respect a man, she cannot be attracted to him. So that attraction also goes down. And I think women become often anyway, become quite frustrated with the guy. It's like she wants to respect him and have desire for him and what have you, but because he's gone along with everything and done what he's told, she's losing this respect for him. And then what you start to see is a whole lot of bickering and nagging and petty little arguments. Like I've just seen so many marriages like this, and it's really ugly. And eventually she announces something like, I'm not in love with you anymore, right? I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. She says something like this, or she's had enough, or whatever it is, and then she leaves and it's over. So I've kind of identified this pattern again in Australia, and I've seen it a bit here in Belarus, and Belarusians are like, yeah, I've seen this happen as well. I really don't want to oversimplify things. Of course, every situation is unique, but there are themes, right? We're all kind of the same. We're wild animals with the same instincts and desires and so forth. So this idea that we're all absolute individuals is a bit misleading, We will have specific situations and whatever that are unique to us, but for the most part, we are just human and we all have the same instincts. I would love to hear your feedback on this one. This is an idea I've been throwing around for quite some time. Tell me what you think about it. Do you agree? Have you seen this in the real world? Maybe in your own lives? Let me know in the comment section below if you have any other ideas about what causes divorce. And I mean broader things, not that she did something or he did something, but these things are usually borne out over many, many years and patterns develop within a relationship. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content that you enjoy and which kind of content that you want more of. If you are already subscribed to my channel, I do thank you a lot. If you're not already subscribed, I really see no rational reason why you wouldn't be. So get your finger and press that big red icon that says subscribe on it. And I see that this video is not particularly long, so what I'm going to do is turn the camera around and go for a little bit of a walk and show you some of the streets of Minsk, Belarus. So we are at Nemiga Street here. This is one of the main restaurant hubs. We have a very famous chain of restaurants here in Kalnya, which is obviously Georgian. On this side, same thing, same food, Georgian food as well. There's got a lot of this particular brand here. There must be at least 10 of these in Minsk. And obviously Hinkali, very popular Georgian food. Kind of like a Chinese dumpling, or more like a Chinese xiaolongbao actually, with the soup and meat inside. Very tasty, very hearty. Great for a cold winter's day. So I'll turn right here, just walk with you guys for a few minutes. There you guys see what's going on here in Minsk. We have, of course, the kebab shop. This one is called, I think, My Dear Kebab or something. So let's cross at the lights here. Lights at the crossing at least. I'll just wander up here, just the top of Nemiga here. You can see what's happening on this beautiful autumn day. You can see the trees there, the leaves starting to go yellow, and drop the leaves on the ground there. But you'll notice almost no leaves on the ground, and that's because they pay people regularly to come around and sweep up the leaves several times a day. Earlier I saw 7 people together, all sweeping leaves, keeping the place nice and neat. It's a little bit loud. Let's come away from the road a little bit. So you heard that roaring engine. You do get that sometimes in Minsk, not that often. You probably get it more in Melbourne, to be fair. But he had a Mustang, an American muscle car. Excuse me. We have some photography going on here. So you saw the things on their back there, Yandex Eats. You'll obviously have something similar in your area, maybe an Uber Eats or something, delivering food around to people. As you probably noticed, if you watch enough of my videos, that Belarus has all of the same American things that everyone else has. From the e-scooters and whatever to Yandex Eats and blah blah blah. What I might do, I'm feeling quite fatigued. I've just filmed about 4 or 5 videos in a row, so I'm going to go into Coffee's. I'm going to get myself a coffee. I'm going to sit out here. I'm going to get myself a latte kokos lavender, which is a coconut and lavender flavored latte, which is delicious. And I'll just go in and buy it, and then I'll show you my coffee, and I'll sit and drink it with you for a little bit, have a little bit of a chat. This is an old Sovietsky style shopping mall, and Coffee's is a very popular kind of budget coffee chain here. So the exchange rate's around 2.5 to 1, so your average cake here is around $2 US. And your donuts maybe 1 or 1.5. Some sandwiches for just under $2 as well. Some draniki, sereniki. This stuff's very popular. Sereniki, it's like a fried tvorog. It's very popular around these parts of the world. Very tasty, good lean source of protein. The menu there, so 4 sizes. Again, this is $1, this is about $2 for the big ones. But the big ones are big. Alright, be back in one moment. So here it is. 600 mils. You get ice in there if you want. still a bit warm. I'm warm from walking around. I'll go outside, drink this, but as it gets colder, you just get the warm version with no ice. But they do change the menu a lot here. One thing I really like is that they're really good with seasonal changes. So before you know it, these kind of summer flavors will disappear, and winter flavors like ginger and lemon is very popular here. This will come in to fashion, and they'll be available everywhere with cut up pieces of lemon, cut up pieces of ginger. And so I'll sit here and I'll enjoy my coffee. So as a general rule, I do find the whole dating thing, how men and women can work over a long period of time, I find this topic very interesting, because clearly there's biology and then there's culture, right? So the two have to kind of come together and complement each other in some way. And I'm not sure the direction we're headed at the moment, culturally, is very conducive for this kind of long-term relationship. And for me, this mainly matters because if you're going to raise children, you kind of want people around, i.e. the parents, to look after them and to raise them and so forth. If we don't have this, I'm not sure, well, why you even have children at all, and who's going to raise them and look after them if you don't have kind of two parents together. Like, you can already tell there's so many stereotypes around daddy issues and mummy issues, and you can see that here in Belarus, probably more than anywhere I've been actually. There's a big segment of the population that have just never, like for some girls, just never had a dad, never had a grandpa, like 4 or 5 generations of just mothers, and that's all. And you know, how can a young woman who's had that possibly know how to be involved with a man in a productive long-term relationship? She doesn't know how to do it. There's no role models there. Like, it's impossible for her. She just has her biology, her desires, and what have you, and that's it. There's no kind of long-term conditioning or things to try to help her and the man to know what to do to stay together and to be successful together and have that to be a fruitful relationship, both for them but also for children potentially as well. So I'll enjoy some of my Kokos lavender. Very sweet. They always ask, or we can pay for syrup. It's always extra ruble, and they put a whole lot of sugar in there, and it's nice and sweet. But yeah, I find this topic very interesting. It's because these things are getting worse, not better, you know. Although some people quote long-term divorce rates in the West that they're falling a little bit. But of course, this is very disingenuous. Not deliberately, I'm sure, but because you have the marriage rate fall so much. So only the people who really care about marriage and the idea of long-term relationships get married. So therefore, the rate of divorce drops. Because all the people who are less interested and don't get married, but they're together and they still split up. But because they didn't get married, it doesn't register on the divorce rates, right? So that few percentage points drop of divorce rate in the last 20 or 30 years, I think can be explained by that factor. Now, I could be wrong, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Oh, it's really delicious. Nice mix of coffee and sweet lavender. It's very good. All right, I'll let you see what I can see for a little while. I'll even do a bit of a zoom in so you can see people walking past. Busy traffic. Girl there talking on the phone. A couple of guys. I wonder what he's bought there in his bag. There's Niall. Alright, that's enough from me. I'm going to go. It's been nice chatting. And if you're still here, I really appreciate it. Again, if you haven't liked the video, please do so. And do subscribe to see more of my content in the future.